Ray Monster says, tama. Youth vote is not limited to Pam and Kiko. I'm a millennial. I voted for Duterte endorsed candidates. I know some of my students voted for them also. That's wonderful. It means that it's not a homogeneous vote. So, ang nakikita ko is excuse ito. Ginagamit nila yung alleged youth vote to justify what might have been a foreign intervention in our elections. At least base doon sa pinopropose na teorya ni Attorney Glenn Chong, which, by the way, is a good theory. So yesterday, we had an interview with Attorney Glenn Chong, who explained to us the problematic results of the 2025 elections. Without discrediting the winners, no? He does point out even the problematic explanation of COMELEC Chairman George Garcia with regard to the sudden disappearance of 5 million votes, the dismissal of the overvote, the 17 million overvote, and the unusual excuse made for them saying that it's only 1 million overvotes, 1 million overvotes because, divide by 12. So, today we looked at the surveys conducted from May 6 to 9 of Pulse Asia. But before we go into we'll probably not get into the details yet about why people voted the way they did. Kasi nga may issues tayo on how they voted may have been influenced, first of all, by certain factors. Some of the things kasi are not mathing. Like, according to Pulse Asia, there were surges in popularity of Bam and Kiko and Tulfo, Marcoleta, Villar Marcos in April. But when it came to the elections, everybody else, those whose surges in popularity were manifesting in April, the actual votes went down except for Bam and Kiko. Now, for me, that is an interesting finding, diba? They don't explain it. They just say that that's what happened. Kaya daw ang taas. But what is even more interesting was, conversely, here, the Pulse Asia also asked about VP Inday Sara's impeachment and the popularity of Rodrigo Duterte, Sara Duterte, and Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Hi, bago tayo magpatuloy, huwag pong munang kakalimutan, like, share, follow, and subscribe. Hi po sa mga TikTokers natin. Please take note of our gift goals. And, let's, we strongly encourage you to participate in the discussions. Hi kay Tubig ni Osay. Sabi ni Rex Dua, bakit kasali si Tatay Diggs? Pinakulong na. What do you mean? Because he is a main factor in the elections. Because the taking of Rodrigo Duterte is a campaign issue, was an election issue. And that's why, some people do tend to be suspicious of the outcome. Sabi niya, ako ay Pilipino, something is really wrong with vote count, and deep inside we know that someone out there is on top of the situation. Someone has to go to jail who won't take this sitting down. Okay, but before we proceed, let's get some frequently asked questions out of the way. Uuwi na ba si Tatay Digong? Hindi pa po. Ano yung latest sa ICC? Well, Attorney Kaufman's, two things. Right? Before, last month, I think, they filed for a recusal of the judges for sitting. What is a recusal? It's when the judges voluntarily step down, they don't take on the case because of the possibility of a conflict of interest. However, when the judges decided not to recuse themselves, the defense filed for a disqualification of the judges. So recently, the lead judge, president of the court, asked for the other judges who are being asked to be disqualified to submit their comment to the motion filed by the defense. So hintayin natin kung ano ang magiging resulta nun. So, next. Ano pa yung mga frequently asked questions? So, yung mga nagsasabi, uuwi na ba siya o nakauwi na ba? Hindi pa po. We don't know when that's going to happen, but we are always hopeful na mangyayari yan very soon. Sabi ni CRTV, it's surprising that Gen Z immediately got so concerned by elections, particularly midterm elections. It never happened for years. Statistically, Gen Z votes are outlier votes. That's correct. And I think there is still also some discrepancy about the actual number of votes of those who are 27 years old and below. Ilan ba talaga sila? Because some sets of numbers say 16, but others say it's only 8. And the actual votes cast for that age group is possibly only around 4 million. So, oh, this is why nagtataka kayo. So, nagtaka din daw siya sa survey, bakit kasali si tatay? Because he is relevant. Okay, could you, I understand that you're very supportive of President Duterte, pero bakit kayo naiinis? Actually, you should be proud because Tatay Digong, despite everything that has happened, remains a significant figure in Philippine politics. So significant that the outcome of these elections are one of the reasons many people took to the polls was because of his taking and being brought to the Hague. So hindi po dapat tayo nagtataka bakit kasama siya sa survey. Kasi significant siya, importante siya, pinag-uusapan siya, at marami sa atin ang dahilan sa pagboboto ay dahil sa galit doon sa kanyang pagkuha at pagdala sa Hague. Ang isa pa ay yung concern natin ay yung impeachment ni VP Inday. Medyo nakakataka yung outcome dito dahil ayon doon sa Pulse Asia survey, 50% ang hindi sang-ayon. Ay 50 plus 58% ang hindi sang-ayon sa impeachment at mayroong hinahanap ko lang yung ayun. May yun. Disagreement. 50% disagree, 28% agree, and 21% are undecided. According to Pulse Asia, small majority lang yan. Kumbaga, 50% of the registered votes. Kaya lang actually malaki yan kasi 28% lang ang disagree. Ngayon, yung pag-arrest kay Rodrigo Duterte, teka, para makita ninyo, lagay natin sa screen. Yan. Yung pag-arrest naman ay, ano pa, lakihan natin ng konti, ha? Yan. On the arrest of former President Rodrigo Duterte, small majority daw disagree with the arrest versus 28, or agreement is more manifest than indecision. 26% ang agree versus 16% na undecided. Yung numbers po are reflecting each other, both sa impeachment at saka dito sa arrest. However, pag tinignan nyo naman yung numbers pagdating sa popularity, Rodrigo Duterte registers at, teka, saan na ba yung table niya? That's table 28. Pagdating sa popularity, tingnan mo, Sara Duterte at 50%, Rodrigo Duterte at 63%. Nang maintindihan mo yung trust rating kay Sara Duterte at 50%, nagre-reflect siya dun sa same numbers of those who disagree with her impeachment. But with Rodrigo Duterte, 58% ang disagree with his being taken to the Hague to face the ICC. Medyo may discrepancy between big trust sa kanya at saka yung support for the trial. Pero it's still interesting to note that comparatively, Sara still outpaces President Marcos in trust ratings. And surprisingly then, well, maybe not so surprisingly, Rodrigo Duterte outpaces everybody when it comes to big trust. In other words, 63% of the people who were polled, and these are registered voters, still trust, big trust, hugely trust the former president. Despite no longer being president, despite no longer being in charge, despite currently being in The Hague, he is still registering at 63% big trust. Now, what we need to look at is the opposition percentage, which means those people who are are supportive of the impeachment of Sara Duterte and supportive of the trial of Rodrigo Duterte in the ICC. Parang consistent yung numbers na ito, which might be registering as the numbers of the yellows and the opposition. It might not be registering as the numbers of the loyalists. Hindi po 4 million ang registered Gen Z voters. Definitely there's more. I understand that the number is either 8 million or 16 million. Pero hindi Gen Z yung hindi Gen Z yung 16 million. We're talking about those 27 years old and below. So 18 to 27. So yan, mga 8 million lang daw ang registered voters dyan, and actual votes cast is something like 4 million. I will have to double check the numbers, ha. Sabi ni Janelle, unprecedented po ang ratings ni FPRD even up to now. Yes, and this is what we have to expect they will be working on more. So nakita nila that they're registering at about 60%, 16% for both VP Inday and Rodrigo Duterte as opposition. Those who support her impeachment, those who support his litigation in the ICC, those who support his facing trial in the ICC. Yan po ang mga dilaw and all that. And these are the people who will be working very, very hard to try to discredit the two. Unlawful ba mag-ask ng concerns as an OFW sa secretary ng DMW through sa app regarding elections, Mr. Ignacio and PRD? Dami kasi negatons nag-react. Alam nyo, most of the time the reactions aren't very well educated or are simply knee-jerk reactions. A lot of the nega reactions are born out of fear that you might be asking a valid question and that the answer might be against their interests. So ignore the angry comments. So it isn't enough na nakikita natin dito na sikat pa rin at pinagkakatiwalaan si Inday Sara at saka si Tatay Digong. Ang kailangan ay protektahan nila kung gusto natin na makabalik sa Malacanang ang isang Duterte. Bakit hindi kino-consider yung endorsement ng INC kaya nanalo si Bam Aquino at si Kiko from Sharon Cuneta? Hopefully, Aquino will vote against the impeachment. Diyos ko, hope is not a strategy. So, ang tingin ko dyan is, well, I don't know why you are saying that because it certainly is a factor. Pero it still does not explain the ratings. In fact, Pulse Asia doesn't really say why Bam's alleged popularity along with Kiko's surged in April. Diba, ito yung wow dagat. It might be because yung marami silang ads na lumabas or marami silang mga kung ano-ano lumabas and umiyak si Sharon. Ma'am Hilda, hindi po nga, in fact, binabasag natin yung naratiba na yan. Kung it's the youth vote po, hindi yan magsusurge. Okay? It would have been dun pa lang at the time that they were making whatever campaigns with the youth, that would have explained an increase in their popularity before. Pero a surge from April to May, medyo malabo po yun. Huwag po kayong maniniwala kasi yun nga po ang ginagawang dahilan para ma-explain yung sudden surge in their popularity or their placing in the senatorial elections. So, sabi ni Octavie, pag na-acquit si Inday ICC, kukuha sa kanya yan nakikita kong plano ng admin, lalo na labas-masok ng mga ICC personnel. Wow! Napaka-positive na outlook natin, no, ma'am? But I don't think it's going to be that easy anymore. Look, ang teorya na ina-espouse ni Attorney Glenn Chong yesterday is that there may have been some kind of manipulation in the elections. Pero the manipulation was a policy of placation. Let me see, let's use a better word. The policy is pacification. Ganito. Nakikita siguro, assuming without conceding that the theory of foreign intervention sa ating elections ay totoo. Okay? Ngayon, bakit, may explain kung bakit ganyan. Parang pansit canton with something for everybody. Mayroong panalo para kay Alyansa, mayroong panalo ang Dilaw, mayroong panalo ang mga pro-Duterte, both the PDP as well as the candidates of VP Inday. Like I said, those two are not necessarily the same. So, parang wow, everybody happy. Kasi ang punto nung alleged foreign intervenor is to prevent a revolution. Ibig sabihin, kinikilala nila na hindi popular yung impeachment. Kinikilala nila na hindi popular ang pagkuha kay Rodrigo Duterte. So yung mga ganitong sinasabi ninyo, may not hold water in the long run. Nakita ng mga tao at nakikita din ng mga foreign powers yung continued support for Rodrigo Duterte. So doing something like that, repeating the taking of Duterte with Inday Sara is not going to be very popular and might spark outrage. Okay? Ray Monster says, tama. Youth vote is not limited to Bam and Kiko. I'm a millennial. I voted for Duterte endorsed candidates. I know some of my students voted for them also. That's wonderful. It means that it's not a homogeneous vote. So, ang nakikita ko is excuse ito. Ginagamit nila yung alleged youth vote to justify what might have been a foreign intervention in our elections. At least base doon sa pinopropose na teorya ni Attorney Glenn Chong, which, by the way, is a good theory. Sabi ni Tatay Strauss Fernandez, to be brutally honest, Bam and Kiko are not popular, aka hindi talaga katanggap-tanggap para sa masang Pilipino. How they got in will forever remain a mystery. Well, I don't think it will forever remain a mystery. Sabi ni Danny, I understand the concept of pacification but have difficulty understanding why this is due to foreign intervention. Because of the backdrop of the Taiwan issue and US forces present in our in the country, particularly with the proposal to make the Philippines a forward base of the United States should hostilities break out in the Taiwan Strait. Yun po yun. That is the consideration. Of course, Attorney Glenn uses as a basis for his theory of intervention the unusual results of the COMELEC as well as the even more unusual explanation made by COMELEC Chairman George Garcia. Oh, hi Ma'am Lani, sabi niya, Iha, para maliwanagan ka, may website naman ang Sen. Ako ba po ang kausap? Doon mo malalaman na patagal ng pinopropose yan, free education, hindi nagtatagumpay. Opo, actually si Kiko nga si Coco Pimentel ang original proponent niyan in the 18th Congress or earlier, parang ganon. Hi Miss Lani. So, while we may be happy with many of the results of the elections, let's just keep in mind the possibility that there may have been intervention. Possibility lang naman. We're not saying that that is what happened, but the problem is the COMELEC, hindi sila masyadong nag-i-explain or yung explanation kulang. Halimbawa, nababasag nga ni Attorney Glenn Chong yung mga numero. Kailangan pagkaganon, dagdagan ng COMELEC ang impormasyon at tuloy-tuloy silang makipag-engage. Hindi pwedeng yung minsan ka lang sasagot tapos yun na yun. Sabi ni CRTV, bakit ini-stalk ng Marcos couple si Trump? Ano ang kailangan nila kay Trump? Ano ba tawag doon? Kailangan iangat yung kanilang kredibilidad. The COMELEC downplayed the version, sabi ni VT, the versions of the source code. Anyone file anything in court in relation to this? Ang alam ko mayroon pong i-file si Attorney Israelito Torreon, si Bobet, at hindi ko alam kung nasama yung issue na yan. Sabi ni Ma'am Hilda, I am aware of that. Kaya ako, nagulat din ako na yan ang ginamit na campaign ni BAM at napaniwala ang mga Gen Z and millennials. Hindi po. Actually, hindi sinasabi na naniwala sila. And in fact, may mga millennials tayong nakatambay dito na pinabubulaanan yan, ma'am. Pero yan po ang ginagamit nila bilang justification sa biglaang pagtaas o sa surge ng popularidad ni Bam Aquino at nadamay niya si Kiko Pangilinan. Hindi po. Guillermo is asking, paliwanag niyo po kung bakit interesado ang foreign country sa Pilipinas. Hindi lang po natin kasi binabanggit yung pangalan ng bansa na yon na base sa teorya ay interesado sa atin dahil matagal na silang nandito. Sabi niya, takot ba sa mabilisang pag-asenso ng Pinas dahil sa sipag at tiyaga? Actually, geopolitics po. mayroon pong posibleng maging conflict dyan sa Taiwan Strait, so kailangan nila ng mga base dito. Katulad ng paggamit nila sa Clark at sa Subic nung panahon ng Vietnam War. So dito, nakapwesto na nga ang ilang mga armamento nila bunga ng ating Visiting Forces Agreement at saka paggamit nga nila dito. So, base din sa ating Mutual Defense Treaty. So yun po yun. As a matter of fact, pag tinignan nyo, noong 2022 or 2023, pumunta po ng Australia ang ating Pangulo at nakipag-ugnayan sa Australian government na magtutulungan sa kasakaling magkaroon ng issue o conflict dyan sa Taiwan Strait. So maliwanag na mayroon na po tayong mga ipinangako sa ilang mga dayuhan na maisasali tayo kung sakasakaling magkaroon ng conflict doon o alitan doon. So hindi na po, ang sinasabi nyo kasi, ba't naman sila magiging interesado sa atin? Simple lang po, dahil nasa lugar tayo. Sakto yung lugar natin. Sabi ni Aldrich, mukhang may tataas na naman ang presyon bukas sa paglabas ng bagong survey ng Pulse Asia. Totoo yan. Sir Ryan, I have not read Attorney Revilla's plan and you are not telling me what he says or his reasons for losing. If you could care to add to your question para kumpleto siya. Sabi ni Jason, interesado magbenta ang Amerika ng gamit sa giyera. Ay, hindi lang po yun. Gamitin ng Pilipinas bilang base nila. Bahagi nga ng Visiting Forces at saka Mutual Defense Treaty. Baka nga maging posible nga na dito yung maging alitan. Sabi ni Roy, IT din ako, so importante ang version na updated apps na naka-install. For me, hindi credible ang result base doon sa transmission ng result diverted sa ibang survey. Niluto muna. Hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin tinatakal ng COMELEC ang issue nung parang yung Q server. Parang iniimbudo nga muna doon lahat ng mga resulta tapos isa-isa itinatransmit daw sa COMELEC. Marami pang mga issues tungkol dyan sa transmissions, including kung bakit hindi real-time ang transmissions. Dapat dinidemand natin na pagka nabilang na doon sa pagka natapos na doon sa presinto at transmit sa munisipyo, dapat sa munisipyo makikita nyo o pumasok na ang votes nitong presintong ito. Instead, ang count lang nila is generic. How many votes have come in, hindi nila sinasabi exactly kung saan ang galing. Samantalang mayroon naman teknolohiya para gamitin yon. Ang isa pang issue ay, at hindi natin natalakay kung kaya't kailangan natin ng part 2 with Attorney Glenn Chong, is yung dami ng OFWs. Kasi mababa ang turnout ng OFW vote. At malaki ang ito ay malamang dahil sa kahirapan na gamitin, unang-una mag-online register, pangalawa gamitin, at saka yung pangatlo, ang daming reklamo na hindi yung mga binoto nila ang pumasok o hindi pumasok yung boto nila or dun sa resibo or dun sa kanilang documentation, tila hindi yung mga kandidato nila ang naboto. Sabi ni James Bond, bakit negative 10 ang trust rating kay BBM? Kasi inawas yung big trust dun sa no trust or small trust. Ang no trust or small trust niya is 42%. Ang big trust is 32%. So 42 minus, hindi ba negative nga pala. Ang big trust pala dapat ang nagbabawas sa no trust. So 32 minus 42, negative 10. So, sabi ni Gosh, ang totoo dyan, may dayan selection. Well, ganito yon. Mayroong sufficient basis para magsuspetsa tayo. Sabi ni Raimundo Odonio, sino po ba pinaglilingkuran ninyo, China, Duterte o ang Pilipinas? Kapag tayo po ay nag-uphold ng ating karapatan, mamili ng ating liderato, mag-discuss ng mga bagay tungkol sa ating national interest, ito po ay maliwanag na para sa Pilipinas at para sa taong bayan. Ngayon, kung ikaw po ay nagdududa, malaya ka naman mag-file ng kaso. Ang kaso, yung duda po ninyo, bukod sa wala itong basehan, ay hindi po yan magsusurvive ng kahit anong court case. Kasi po, wala kayong na-assert na krimen dyan, kundi Ang gusto niyo lang po ay magduda ang mga tao sa amin, umanira ng kredibilidad. Kung kayo po ay wala namang contribution dito sa ating diskusyon at nandito lang po kayo para manira, maliwanag na hindi dapat pinakikinggan kayo ng mga tao. Sayang kasi kayo sa oras. Aksaya. Sabi ni Gosh, ang tatapang nila pa, kaya, ano yung KY pag, hindi ko magagamit yung word kasi baka maano tayo, magka-strike tayo dito sa ibang platforms. Sabi ni Ken Zamora, ang mga DDS, lumipat na lang kayo sa Mindanao. Pag nagkagyera na sa Luzon, kaso off-limits dito ang Marcos loyalist at Pinklawan at Dilawan. Ano daw? Sabi ni John Fleming, bakit palaging China ang taging pag-supporter ni PRD? Halata naman na makapilipinas sila, pinaglaban nga nilang mga kababayan laban sa kalaban ng bayan. Bukod pa doon, si Presidente Duterte had a foreign policy of friend to all, enemy to none. At hindi niya basta-basta kinampihan ang China. He played off the US versus China. Aba, bakit hindi nila kinoconsider na tumanggap siya ng mga bakuna na galing din sa US? Kapalit ang Visiting Forces Agreement. Bakit puro pro-China ang tingin nila? Hindi nila kinukumpleto yung impormasyon. Bukod nung hindi nagtampo din siya 'di ba sa China dahil nga sa mga problema doon. Dapat may detente, dapat mayroon tayong respect, mutual respect doon sa South China Sea. Pero ang ginawa nung nagkaroon pa rin ng issue doon with China, nagpivot si PRD to the US, lalong-lalo na nung panahon ng COVID. Ang problema dito sa propaganda ng kabila, puro pro-China lang ang inilalabas nila. Samantalang kinausap naman ng Pangulo ang US. And in fact, entered into the VFA when it was about to expire. Sabi ni Sir Danny, I'm also in IT and I find the explanation about the overvoting pathetic. It doesn't make sense for all those 16 million to have more than what is necessary, e.g. 12 for senators. Actually, yun nga yung sagot ni Chairman George Garcia na 1 point something lang ang overvote, 16 million, ano ba yun? Ang overvote, or 1.7 million lang daw yung mga tao na disenfranchise. Hindi daw 16 million or something like that. Parang sinasabi niya, kasi nga yung overvote, yun yung 16 million. Pero yung number of people who voted, yun yung 1 million something lang, 1 point something million. So, sabi ni Ken, may dayaan talaga dito sa barangay namin, 1,558 lang ang voters, pero nung nag-transmit na, naging 2,000 plus. Magic! Sabi ni Ponyos, news in the coming weeks, survey firms to acquire government accreditation and to submit list of respondents for data confidentiality and protection. Totoo ba yan? Or are you guessing? Pakiano naman kasi medyo nakakabahala yan. So you need to indicate kung ito po ay teorya mo or mayroong basihan. Kasi naka-quotation marks eh. Actually, yes. Sabi ni Leo Pogi, makakaupo po ba ang BH party list at Duterte Youth? Dismissed na po yung sa BH party list na reklamo. Ang hinuhold na lang na proclamation ay yung sa Duterte Youth. Pero yun naman, in turn, ako, personal opinion, I find the explanation of Chairman George Garcia pathetic also. Ang sinasabi niya is, kaya complicated daw ang ang issue tungkol sa Duterte Youth. Ang sabi niya, it goes into the accreditation of the party list itself. Kung kaya't hindi sila pumapayag na mag-proclaim na. Ang problema is, ito po ay isang tinatawag na pre-proclamation controversy, which should have been filed during the period prior to elections. Ngayon, dito, kung kailan tapos na yung elections, pumasok yung reklamo at ngayon nila ina-adjudicate. Ayun yung problema para sa akin, may timing issue sila. Instead of proclaiming them first and tossing the issue to the House Electoral Tribunal, katulad ng ginawa nila kay Erwin Tulfo, kinuhold nila yung proclamation despite the fact that it was not raised at the earliest possible time. Sabi ni Ponyo, satire statement lang po kasi ngayon lahat posible na. Hi kay Amboy Wally. Sabi ni Gosh, si Erich Sylvester nga pinalusot eh. So sa ngayon, I think that they will continue, yung mga enemies ng mga Dutertes will continue to try to discredit them. Especially ngayon na lumabas yung big trust ratings nung mag-ama. Sa totoo lang, Ryan, na-off ako dun sa tanong mo kasi nga, why is this significant? Talo na siya eh. So, why is it important to discuss this? And his claim to be a misinformation victim. Kayo po ba ay nagsabi ng mga ganon tungkol sa kanya? And why is this important, you think, now in the current discussion? Hindi, I understand that there is importance in this. Kaya lang, in view, in the context of the current discussion. Sabi ni Tarlac Times, si Jokno at De Lima, abot hanggang langit ang angas nila. Kala nila kaya nila si VP Sara, sumama pa talaga sila sa prosecution para makapaghiganti. Well, sabi ni Awi, if the case is disqualification of Duterte Youth, then Duterte Youth should not have been seated twice in Congress, right? As usual, in COMELEC, something smells fishy. Well, ganito, para to provide clearer context, ganito yon. Sa ating saligang batas at doon sa party list rules, pag youth representative, hindi po pwedeng older. In other words, kung youth representative ka, dapat youth. Pero sa ibang mga party list, tinatanggap na hindi ka part nung supposed marginalized sector or party. So for example, yung party list ng mga security agencies or security guards can be represented by somebody who is not a security guard or a security specialist. Pero dun sa youth, kailangan representative. Ibig sabihin, yung tao na uupo. Ngayon, si former Congressman Ronald Cardema ay hindi naman representante. Hindi po siya ang uupo. And ang kini-question ng Kabataan Party List, kung hindi po ako nagkakamali, ay bakit siya pa rin ang presidente ng Duterte Youth samantalang hindi naman siya youth. So ang tingin ko dyan, that's why ang tingin ko is hindi kapani-paniwala yung excuse ni Chairman George Garcia na sabihin na masyado kasing komplikado yung issue. Yikes. Sabi ni Sally, what will happen if hindi i-proclaim ng COMELEC ang Duterte Youth Party List? A Duterte Youth Party List is already in the Supreme Court. So, the court case will continue. Hindi na nga po, it's already happened, ma'am. Hindi nga sila pinoproclaim. So, they are in the Supreme Court. What you're asking, di ba, nangyari na po. Hindi nga po sila pinoclaim. But at the same time, wala pang desisyon naman ang COMELEC disqualifying them as a party list. Paulo says, I've been a fan of Atty. Panelo, but now he seems to be kakamping leaning with slight hint of Marcos for me. Marcos and kakamping hold zero gravity. Is Atty. Panelo a double agent? I don't believe in double agentry. To be a double agent, you must be accepted in both camps, diba? But apparently, he is picking fights with the people who are aligned with the Dutertes. Unfortunately, I'm also one of them. So, wala. Kasi for me, he is critical and sometimes, not reasonably so, towards fellow, for lack of a better term, DDS. I do not know what his motivations are, but what I do know is that with every unreasonable criticism, he loses credibility. Kaya, nakayaan ko na lang siya. Aldrich says Erwin Lacerda, former Pinoy spokesman, is now saying the Marcoses should consider an alliance with Pink and Yellow to prevent a Sara Duterte 2028 presidency. Kasi sabi niya, if ever Sara wins, it will be a revenge tour for VP Inday. Ay nako, I think Erwin Lacerda, Edwin, I think is the name. Edwin Lacerda says that like it's a bad thing.